Joining me now from Capitol Hill is Representative Chris Smith, Republican from New Jersey and senior member of the House Foreign Affairs Committee. Congressman, welcome back to the program. We've had 5 days of public testimony from about a dozen witnesses. What do you think about the testimony you've been hearing?
Well, I've been profoundly unimpressed by the testimony. Matter of fact, I've been in Congress for 39 years, and I have to tell you, the bureaucrats don't run our foreign policy. The president and the Congress runs our foreign policy in that order. We provide the resources, but the day-to-day direction comes from the president of the United States. And if they disagree with a policy, that's fine. That has happened from day one of this republic. But it's very disturbing to think that people substitute their view for the president's and then make it into something that they even approached saying it's impeachable. I saw nothing that would suggest that high crimes and misdemeanors have been committed. And I think that's, the bar is very high for impeachment because it's the undoing of an election by the people of the United States. Our votes do count. And when you vote for somebody, Republican or Democrat or anything else, any other party, you should not have that undone by a process. Disagree with the president all you want. That's the beauty of America. Some people even hate the president, and that's unfortunate, but that's not an impeachable offense.
We appreciate your thoughts on the impeachment inquiry. Turning now to another important topic, the ongoing violence in Hong Kong. You've advocated for human rights there for some time. This week, Congress passed 2 bills aimed at supporting the people of Hong Kong. They now go to the White House for President Trump's signature. What message do you hope this legislation sends?
Well, I first introduced the Hong Kong Human Rights and Democracy Act in 2014, and it was blocked by a lot of the so-called experts, the Sino experts, both at the State Department and in Congress. And I believe that if we had a clear message to Beijing, especially, and Xi Jinping, the dictator there, that the special status of Hong Kong is put at risk, the ability to evade customs and a lot of other things, tariffs, they get a very special treatment for products that transship through there as well as those that are produced in and around there, that would be a goner. And if we had said that earlier, I think Beijing would have known that there was a consequence and a penalty for their gross violations of human rights against the demonstrators, the torture that we now are hearing more and more about, as well as the beatings that these great democracy activists are under, having put upon them by the police, the Hong Kong police and others. This is a very volatile situation. We stand in solidarity with the democracy activists. 30 years ago, as Tiananmen Square was unfolding, the United States of America, and this continued right through the Clinton administration, did nothing to except verbally, to show that there was a penalty for the Tiananmen Square massacre. And that, in my humble opinion, enabled the communists in Beijing to expand their abuse of human rights, which they've done. The president will sign this bill, and I think we will see a serious change. We got to stand in solidarity with the democracy activists.
To follow up with you about Beijing's government, China has threatened to take, quote, strong countermeasures if the bills are signed into law. What's your response to China?
Well, that's what they have gotten away with ever since Tiananmen Square and before. They threaten, and sometimes they carry out their threats. But man, we're talking about a Xi Jinping, the dictator, who now is kind of like dictator for life. This man is on a tear in the wrong direction, moving very aggressively, even against religion. I wrote it up for the Washington Post last December 27th and talked about how the world leaders need to speak out for what Xi Jinping is doing to all religions. I think we have to be so firm and strong first and foremost for the people of Hong Kong and all of China, and then for the region and the world. The hegemony that they have been practicing in that region is very real. They're all over Africa. They're all over in Latin America, in Central and South America, passing on their bad governance model, which they want the world to accept and to embrace. They are in the process of destroying faith, if they can do it, and we've got to speak up. So every human rights abuse, name it, Xi Jinping is crushing the people who want to exercise their fundamental human rights.
So many important issues that we're continuing to cover in China, and again, continuing to highlight the plight of the religious and ethnic minorities there. Congressman Chris Smith, Republican from New Jersey, thanks so much for your take.
Thank you, White. Thank you very much.